Ever since Russia announced they would be leaving the ISS, everyone has been walking on eggshells since no one knows what NASA's next plan will be. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has recently dominated the news cycle. There has been a continual war of words on social media amid heartbreaking stories about rocket attacks, stopped offensives, and potential causes and effects. The Director General of the Russian State Space Corporation, Roscosmos, Dmitry Rogozin, in particular, has been delivering veiled threats that Russia may end its collaboration in space. Six of the ISS's 17 modules, including Zvezda, which contains the primary engine system and without which the lab might not be able to govern itself for very long, are operated by Roscosmos. There have been concerns that Putin may order the ISS to disintegrate since Moscow has complete control and legal power over its modules. A video of the Russian modules departing the International Space Station was uploaded on Telegram by the state-run Russian news outlet RIA Novosti, ISS. NASA made the decision to organize a FAQ session where they posted frequently asked questions regarding the ISS in reaction to all the threats and exaggeration. Furthermore, NASA announced to the globe that the ISS is still operational and won't be shut down anytime soon, which is uncannily similar to what transpired in 2014. Despite not immediately responding to Rogozin's claims, the FAQ session subtly admits them and provides thoughtful responses. Moreover, according to a report by Joey Roulette 9, sources with knowledge of the plans claim that NASA and the White House have been covertly developing backup plans for the International Space Station since late last year, given the mounting tensions with Moscow that occurred before Russia invaded Ukraine. The game planning by the U.S. Space Agency reveals how the U.S. is juggling its relationship with Russia, a key ally in the construction of the International Space Station that also involves companies like Boeing, SpaceX, and Northrop Grumman. A two-decade-old partnership that NASA has worked to protect is in jeopardy because it's one of the few channels of civil cooperation between the two superpowers still in place. According to three of the sources, who all requested anonymity, the U.S. officials' plans included ways to evacuate all astronauts from the space station in the event that Russia were to leave suddenly, maintain it without essential components provided by the Russian Space Agency, and possibly decommission the orbital laboratory years sooner than anticipated. Officials from NASA and the White House have already acknowledged the existence of backup plans, but they have refrained from disclosing them in the open to prevent escalating hostilities with Russia. Instead, NASA officials emphasize their tight partnership with Roscosmos, the Russian space agency. "We are very committed, obviously, to us continuing this relationship," Kathy Luters, the director of NASA Space Operations, stated in a recent interview. "We need to make sure, though, that we do have plans. We're NASA. We always have contingencies." The International Space Station, ISS, was created more than 20 years ago with NASA and Roscosmos as technical partners. Roscosmos manages the propulsion that maintains the laboratory the size of a football field in orbit, while NASA supplies the gyroscopes for the space station's balance and solar panels for electricity. According to one of the sources, Boeing, one of the station's major private contractors, has tasked a team of engineers to look into ways to control the space station without using Russia's thrusters. A number of space companies have been involved in the planning. According to two of the three people, NASA has been working on crafting a formal request to contractors for options to deorbit the space station faster than anticipated in the event that Russia leaves the alliance, in order to maneuver the station into the Earth's atmosphere at the end of its life. Russia controls the station's thrusters from Moscow. The newly appointed spacehead, Yuri Borisov, was quoted by Russian news media as stating last week that although there was no set time frame for the country's withdrawal from the ISS, it will be done in strict accordance with our obligations. Any partner must provide a one-year notice of intent to depart under the terms of the station's intergovernmental agreement. On Thursday, there was no immediate way to get a statement from Roscosmos. According to NASA, Roscosmos asked the American Space Agency 2 years ago whether it might offer a spacecraft to help with the deorbiting operation. However, NASA said it's continually looking for additional capabilities aboard the space station and planning for a seamless transition to commercially managed destinations in low Earth orbit. NASA otherwise declined to discuss the precise contingency plans it is examining. The agency is making an attempt to support the creation of privately owned space stations that might replace the ISS once it is scheduled to cease operations in 2030. According to the sources, NASA's backup preparation has mostly focused on managing the station without Russia's thrusters. Northrop Grumman successfully tested a potential substitute for Russia's thrusters in a demonstration in June by using a modified version of its Cygnus cargo spacecraft to modify the space station's orbit while it was berthed. If NASA requests it, all upcoming Cygnus capsules will be able to perform those reboots, according to a Northrop spokesman. According to the sources, the test was a component of a NASA project that originally started in 2018 but was sped up due to rising tensions. According to two of the sources, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, has also been researching similar reboot capabilities at SpaceX, a privately owned spacecraft firm. The Dragon spacecraft from SpaceX transports personnel and cargo to and from the space station. In late 2021, as ties between the United States and Russia deteriorated, NASA and the White House began contingency planning, according to four American officials. Additionally, the sources added it followed a November test by the Russian Ministry of Defense of an anti-satellite missile that resulted in a debris field close to the ISS and required personnel to seek cover. Nevertheless, senior representatives from both space organizations have reiterated the alliance in space. It's been hugely beneficial to U.S. science, to U.S. technology, U.S. advancement of our space program, and so it is in the U.S. national security interest. The interaction aboard the ISS with Russia, according to Rose Getty-Moller, former U.S. President Bill Clinton's national security advisor on Russian and Eurasian matters. Even following this horrible and violent invasion of Ukraine, we've been able to sustain it because it's beneficial for us, as it's beneficial for the Russians. Getty-Moller, who was crucial in establishing the American-Russian Space Station Alliance in 1993, added, according to the sources, a small team from NASA met with Russian counterparts in Moscow in the first few days of July to finalize a long-sought agreement for sharing astronaut flights to the International Space Station, ISS, a capability NASA views as essential to having a backup ride to the station. The 15th of July announcement of the agreement grants American astronauts access to Russian Soyuz spacecraft in exchange for Russian cosmonauts flying on American-built spacecraft. Anna Kakina, the first Russian cosmonaut covered by the deal, is scheduled to launch from Florida in September on board SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Additionally, NASA is negotiating to extend the ISS Alliance's existing formal end date by an additional 6 years to 2030, with Roscosmos and the station's other partners, including Japan, Canada, and the European Space Agency. In addition to financial limitations, Russia's space program experts also mention political concerns as a major factor in the contingency plans. The head of Roscosmos, Borisov, stated last week that maintaining the Russian section until 2024 would be hugely expensive, citing Russian experts' projections of an avalanche of technological issues that could arise on the ISS. Therefore, it was economically expedient, he continued, for Russia to consider developing its space station. The lesson to be learned from all of this is that the ISS operations have always been interconnected. Rogozin cannot suddenly grow wings and go there to film some propaganda movies, just as Russia cannot simply pack up and remove its modules. Although they don't explicitly mention it, NASA's FAQ page serves as a reminder that the ISS has withstood political upheaval in the past. While Russia and the United States have been at war for the past 8 years, NASA and Roscosmos have maintained cordial ties. Astronauts and cosmonauts were able to coexist together on board the International Space Station, ISS, despite political threats of war and sanctions. Maybe international leaders could learn something from them. From all that has been said, we are assured that a plan is in motion, and ISS and NASA are ensuring everything continues running smoothly. What do you think about it? Let us hear from you, so make sure to leave a comment below.